Hi everyone, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jennifer.
And welcome back to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on the Sun Devil Fitness Complex YouTube page. Today we're going to show you how to make some vegetable stir fry.
Vegetable stir fry is a great way to make a meal and not break your bank. It's high in omega-3s and 6s. It has a lot of antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin E.
Alrighty, so let's get started, and this is what you'll need.
For the sauce,
you'll need 1 teaspoon of sesame oil,
1 teaspoon of sugar,
3 tablespoons of light soy sauce,
and for the noodles,
you'll need 6 ounces uncooked ramen noodles,
3 green onions, green parts separated from the white parts,
2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar,
3 cups of veggies, julienne carrots, julienne red peppers, small broccoli florets, or any veggies that you have on hand,
1 teaspoon of sugar,
and 1 tablespoon of sesame oil.
Let's get started.
All right, we're gonna get started with our ramen stir fry. So I put some water into a pot and I am going to bring it up to a boil. I just put the burner on high.
I know your eyes are not deceiving you. We are using just the typical ramen noodle packets. It's just gonna be the easiest noodles to use. For our situation, we're not gonna use the packets, correct?
No. So we're not using the seasoning packet that it comes with, just the noodles. So I'm going to place the noodles in the water and bring that up to a boil. And once they're nice and soft, I'm gonna strain those out. All the while, I have my wok heating up. And I just have it heating up on low. You don't wanna get it too hot. And while that is happening, Kayla is going to stir together our sauce. Okay, so for the sauce, we are doubling our recipe because we used extra noodles. So the recipe calls for a teaspoon of sesame oil, a teaspoon of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce. We're just gonna double that. All right, so 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. Here. Light soy sauce, light or low sodium. It always has a green top. I do that just because soy sauce is really high in sodium. And too much sodium in your body can cause hypertension and a high osmotic pressure in your blood vessels, which can damage the arterial walls and venous walls, and it just causes problems in the long run. So you really want to keep an eye on how much sodium you eat. Every once in a while, having a bunch of sodium is fine. You just don't want to make a habit of it. Okay, now that my sauce is all stirred up, I'm going to chop up my green onions. So I'm going to start with just using the white part or the light green part. And I'm going to put this part aside for later. And just chop that up into little pieces, just a couple centimeters thick, and go all the way to the end. I'm going to take that over to my wok and start heating these up. Okay, I'm going to coat my wok with sesame oil, just enough to cover the pan. Sesame oil, like olive oil, has a lower burning point than like a vegetable oil. So you want to make sure that your pan isn't too hot when you put the oil in there, otherwise the oil can burn and it'll taste bitter. So I'm going to put my green onion in there. I'm going to let that heat up for a moment. It'll take 2 to 3 minutes. All right, now that I've got my green onions sizzling in my sesame oil, I'm going to add my veggies. You can use any veggies you like for this. I have chosen to just use frozen mixed veggies. You can use stir-fry veggies, you can use broccoli, you can use fresh veggies, you can use scissors. There you go. You can use fresh veggies, frozen, canned, anything you like. This is something that we had and we thought it would be perfect for this. So I'm just gonna pour these in. Okay, so I poured in all of my veggies. I'm gonna put a little extra sesame oil in there just because it's so good. And I'm just going to heat this up until it's thoroughly heated through, about 5 minutes. And while that is going, I'm going to strain my noodles because they are fluffy and ready to go. Okay. These have been cooking for about 5 minutes and they are definitely heated through and we are ready to put our noodles in. So I have my strained noodles. I'm just gonna pop them in there. And then I'm going to incorporate about half of the sauce that we mixed inside. And just stir it up and let all of the flavors incorporate themselves. Once you have this nice and stirred up evenly, gonna let it cook for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Because that sauce has sugar in it, we want that sugar to heat up nicely because it tastes really good. And as this is heating up, you're gonna wanna stir it every minute or two just to make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. While that's occurring, I'm going to chop up my green onions because I'm gonna put them on top when this is done. And this is the same exact size as the white part, just a centimeter or two wide, not too big. About the size of a tip of a pencil, or an eraser of a pencil. And be careful when you're chopping. Always keep your fingers curved in. That way it keeps you from chopping off the tip of your finger. You need those. Okay, I'm gonna pour the remaining sauce on the top. And I'm gonna turn down my burner to about medium, in between medium and low. Okay, this is all heated up nicely and ready to go. You can taste and smell the caramelized sugar. And we are ready to plate this and top it with our green onion. You can also add chicken, you can add tofu, you can add chili peppers or peanuts. Another great protein to add to this would be shrimp, and you can also put beef in there or pork.
Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Tasty Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about how to make a yummy, cheap stir fry, especially for the upcoming winter cold months. This will actually be our last episode for the semester. We're gonna take a little break during the holiday season and we'll see you soon. When are we gonna come back, Jenny?
We'll be back with new episodes starting in the middle of January. And they will be festive, go along with holidays from different parts of the world along with our own. And please leave some comments in our video posts if you want to suggest something that we can make. We'd love to hear from you. Have a good holiday.
Bye guys.